All right, so we are into industrialism number 9, and we're starting section 3. This is big business and labor. We're going to start off with some vocab. There is a video attached here if you guys want to open that up. Hopefully that works for you. Let me know if it does not. The first two terms that we're going to look at are horizontal integration and vertical integration. So horizontal integration is a process of buying out all competitors and controlling the prices. Vertical integration is a process of buying out all the suppliers needed in your business. So basically the main thing here is that one of the things that Carnegie tried to do was control everything, and the same thing was with Rockefeller as well. All right, so both these guys, if you think back to the video that we watched, tried to control everything. So like in the one part of the video, Rockefeller said, why are we paying so much for plumbing, and piping and stuff like that? And he wanted to control that, just like he ended up controlling the transportation of his supplies as well. So this this picture here should help you better understand. Horizontal is the same type of companies, where vertical, you're going to buy out different types of companies, because in vertical integration, you're controlling basically everything that goes into the production of your product, from the raw materials to the actual manufacturing to the transportation and distribution of your product. That's vertical integration. Horizontal, you're just trying to buy out everything that is like you. So if we stick with fast food, so Wendy's goes and buys out McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, they would buy out all those. Where in vertical integration, you would buy out your suppliers. So people that supply potatoes or meat or your buns or whatever. So they're buying out all of those resources plus other companies, and then the distribution of that as well. So here we go, vertical integration and horizontal integration again. Vertical integration, you're buying everything, all from the resources. So if this is a meat packing industry, you would buy out the ranches that have the cattle, all the slaughterhouses, the refrigerated rail cars, so that's transportation and distribution, the warehouses, the meat packing plants, the delivery wagons, you would have all of that. Where in horizontal integration, you're just buying companies that are like yours to make yours bigger. So that's what this image here is trying to show. You're buying these other oil refineries, trying to make your oil refinery bigger, and that's what Rockefeller did. Darwinism is something you might have learned about in your science classes. Darwinism is the idea of natural selection process, where the strongest survive and it weeds out the weaker species. And one thing that happens is it causes people to adapt or die. So in the case of these beetles over here, if these beetles are on a tree, which beetle has a better chance of survival? Well, if it's a brown tree like most tree trunks are, the brown beetle is going to have a better chance of survival. So what's going to happen is those green ones either need to adapt by going out onto a green leaf or going into the green grass, or they're going to die and get eaten by a bird. So the same thing if we go to these birds, if they're eating these beetles that are inside these tree trunks, which ones are going to have a better chance of getting that beetle? Well, probably these guys down here with the pokier and pointier beaks than these guys up here with the fat beaks. So either they need to adapt, change what they're doing, or they're going to die. All right? You can apply that theory to something called social Darwinism when we apply it to businesses. This applies to human society. It's a way to justify the doctrine of laissez-faire. Laissez-faire is the idea that businesses are going to be left alone by the government, and the government's not going to step in. Success and failure in business should be governed by natural law, and that no one, the government, had the right to intervene. So right now in our country, our government is intervening a lot with what's going on with coronavirus, because we don't want people suffering in a time when they don't really need to. And what's happening is the government stepping in and saying, hey, we're going to help you out. We're going to, one of the key phrases is bailout. And that actually happened with GM back in 08-ish. And the government stepped in and bailed them out. And a lot of people would then call it government motors rather than General Motors. So the government has been doing this for a while, and it is currently doing this right now. And when the government does step in and do this, it does help the economy and helps people from losing their jobs. We're going to continue with this in the next video.